Hello, folks. Good afternoon, and welcome to XM Live Education. This is the beginner's room. My name is Stanislav Kolev. Indicators Masterclass. Welcome to the session. Beautiful Monday. I see a lot of opportunities, a lot of setups and ideas I have in mind, but also I will be gladly listening to the setups and ideas that you have. So don't hesitate, bring them in the chat, and I invite you, as always, folks, to have this session as an open debate, open discussion, and looking forward to for you to bombardize me in the chat, make it fun and make it entertaining as well. Any question you got, just bring it on. And if by any chance I don't have the correct answer or the answer that you're seeking to get, because I don't know everything, I'm going to transfer you to the right expert here into XM Live Education that's going to be intelligent enough to provide the value that you're seeking to get. Um, Volumetric analysis and Wyckoff analysis will be this session. We don't bring any new indicator. I think because right now we have so intense volumetric areas that we're looking to trade, it's not appropriate for me to bring something else because I suspect that somehow you will address in the chat um, setups with volume analysis. So I would suggest that I bring the next indicator in a more quiet period. I'll be together with you on the 20th, on the 23rd, and 24th, and 30th, and 31st, which is more of a period that is not so dynamic in terms of, oh, we got multiple setups, right? We could have a few, but maybe not so many of them. I hope I'm wrong, and we still have the setups and the volatility and everything. But in case we don't have it, then I believe it's going to be a good time to bring some um, the new. It's again volume indicator. You are going to love it. Um, I think it's going to be better time to bring the other one than to you. Boyki in the building. House guest, Hella, my sensei, and hi Stan from Boyki. Welcome, guys. Super nice to see you always. Welcome on board. Tell me what are you up to. I suspect that you got some instruments in your watch list. Just bring them on. I'm going to bring some that I have in mind. Um, and this is, we're going to start with something that you might not expect me to start, but that's a euro versus Swiss franc. And we have broken out of this volumetric zone, right? Without even plugging the volume profile, you know that this is where orders are. This is where buyers and sellers have been in a battle. This is where you anticipate orders. And finally, you got sellers taking over, taking profit, or buyers push up. And we're getting back into the structure of this zone. Now, this is a little delicate moment here because the zone is pretty big. The volume is like, well, it's not that big though, right? That's 30 pips. 30 pips of zone. Actually, for Euro Swiss, it look like it's a big zone because this is not a very dynamic currency pair. This is why I believe it's going to be appropriate to approach this instrument as a swing trade. I think we're in a very clear downtrend. Let me delete this. We're in a very clear downtrend, long-term, multi-year. Let's open weekly, multi-year downtrend, etc. I believe this downtrend will continue. Swiss economy way stronger than the European economy. Inflation is way stable and not fluctuating like in the eurozone. We have a down, super decreasing month, then you have an up month. Absolute disaster. Uh, both central banks will be cutting interest rates on Thursday. ECB is going to cut with 25. I'm not sure about ECB, right? I still have an expectation of 50 basis points cut. Though we could get 25, we're somehow priced in close to 40 to 37, which is a little tricky. Um, while we have most likely Swiss National Bank cutting with 25 basis points, and we're gonna get the event earlier. Also, if you look into some form of seasonality, Swiss franc is the best performing currency pair historically in December, at least in the last 27 years, 37 years. So, long story short, you could somehow get into a position where Swissy might be strong, where you have a better economy from fundamental perspective. You have seasonality in favor of the Swiss franc, and we also have a technical configuration that might be appropriate to anticipate a position. So long story short, I think something that I want to say with the volume, because this whole zone is very volumetric, right? We're right now here, right? Let's make a vertical line, and the highest level is up here, right? There is not so much of a distance in terms of the volume that we're getting in between these zones. I mean, if you're to sell, if you sell here or you sell here, it both ain't gonna be wrong in terms of level for selling. Now, in terms of technical configuration, we don't really have some very good confirmation just now. However, I have one more session in the afternoon. It's going to be actually 2 hours from now. So I finish this one, I go on 1 hour break, then I'm gonna come back. I think it has to be appropriate to sell a little now, put stop above the high, right? Point 0.5. Stop loss 136 euro. It is close to half percent, but not yet there. And as soon as later on I tune in and I see a better technical configuration, we have some climactic move, we have some reversal, some bearish engulfing, then I'm going to redistribute both of the position into the relevant configuration. Long story short, we sell just now in order for us not to miss it in case it happens in the next hour because we're into the volume zone. However, if we come up here or we come down here and we got a better setup, right? Somewhere later on, I think I'm going to anticipate it based on the particular technical configuration of the setup. Also, it's a little bit tricky with Euro Swiss franc because a lot of the time they do go hand to hand and might be a little wider stop loss, kind of be more appropriate to anticipate. Anyway, Euro versus Swiss franc, this is a sell setup, this is a bearish setup, and we have our first position being executed today. Also, for everybody watching, whether you're watching from YouTube because we're also streaming there, or any of the platforms that are outside of XM Live Education, if you have any questions or comments, just bring it on. I will be analyzing the instruments that you bring. I bring instruments that I have in mind, but also instruments I will never know if you have something in mind unless you share it in the chat. So please, folks, uh, bring it on, and yeah, let's have some good fun together. Boyki, I'm holding Aussie Swissy short from 57.35. If maybe some continuation of the comment is happening, Boyki, or this is ish territory. And also, good day to Yazid. Thank you so much, sir, for tuning in. Hi, Stan. Hope you're well. Nice to see you. I feel I gotta say way better than last week. Um, this antibiotics is really doing its job. Um, I feel way better, gotta say. Way better. I feel absolutely fantastic in comparison to the week before and last week. So you could also see my energy levels right now. More excited, more so. It's not like the Meow, meow, meow. Grumpy guy. Not grumpy, but a slow guy. So yeah, thanks so much. And how is everything with you? How was your weekend? Which are the setups that you look into? Just bring them on. I'm getting right into Aussie Swissy to see what we have here. Boyki is having 57.35. I love it. I love this. This is exactly the volumetric territory that you're looking to anticipate to sell. However, you will have to keep in mind that this is the major zone. Now, if we scale down to lower to the last bearish wave, right? We check it from here and put it down to the bottom, and you get back to 1 hour time frame, you will have to see that just now we're coming across another sell territory. So especially for Aussie Swiss franc, we're currently into some 15-minute sell zone, right? This is a 15-minute zone, and we got some reaction on this. But the 1 hour zone that we're getting involved, it is 57, 57, 56.79. Alert. 56.79. We mark this zone as well. And this is also a good selling zone. I have a little doubts, just a little tiny bits of doubts that we're going to we're going to get into this zone. I think it's a little too obvious. Also, if you look back here, this have been some volumetric zone before. And on this zone, right, the market have gotten in. We had a little buying, but it somehow market went like a hot knife through butter into this previous volumetric territory, right? You see there are plenty of orders, sellers approaching, coming back in, and I think here it's the first solid, I say solid, capital S, it's the first solid place to start looking for a reversal. So 5680-ish territory might be 75, 80-ish might be appropriate to anticipate a sell. If not, then we have 57, 57, 27 to 35, etc. This is the stronger zone. You see, it's being tested multiple times, and we played it like it was hugging the lows here, right? We got the latest events and upthrust here, and then we got it going down from here. That has been some beautiful trade, if you have managed to catch it. So we have two zones, minor and major. I will have to say no. I gotta say two major zones because the first one was not really retested, while this is the real deal zone. There, according to my analysis, there is going to be um, a setup here if the price comes here, except in the case that we have very solid macro, geopolitical, or any form of event that will be triggering um, solid Australian strength or solid Swiss weakness, which is more or less um, Trump looking in China and doing business with China again, which at some point of time I do I do expect that, right? Which at some point of time I do expect this. Right. Yazid is saying great stand. Thank you so much, Boyki, for bringing this one. I also love it. It just needs a little more love before before an execution. Again, in this zone that we're currently in, I think it might be appropriate maybe to look to trade this wave, okay, and then have this and then have it down, right? This is going to be the ultimate scenario to sell from this zone